Did you know that Tester's modeling supply company is actually owned by Rust-Oleum? I didn't know that until just now. So, pretty cool. Explains where some of the paints that you can get for models come from, I guess. I've been looking at these instructions. They tell you when to assemble, when to glue, when not to glue, when not to paint. And in this case, step number 1, building the tire and the wheels, front and rear. So we're going to cut those off and get ready to do that. One of the things that it says not to do, it says not to paint these parts until after assembly. And I'm trying to think of how I'm going to be able to do that. How I'm going to be able to paint this assembled after the tire's on there. But because we don't glue it, if I don't like it, I can take it apart and then paint it separately, as opposed to painting it with little tiny brushes. But there's my tire and my rim. It's got the original Chevy mag rim, sort of reminiscent of the old American mags, but this is right out of 1970. Man, I'm supposed to pick these numbers out. Number 58. There's number 58. Good Lord, are these things tiny. I think the key to this is to cut it long where it attaches and try to stay away from the part itself, and then we can use a file. Yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to cut it long. That way I don't chip the component I'm putting together, and I can use a file and get that cleaned up.
From work, bringing some friends. Why did such a thing make you uptight and tense? You're high-strung, babe. You're high-strung, babe. And a high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man. I go out at night for a drink or two. It seems somehow that bothers you. You're high-strung, babe. You're high-strung, babe. And a high-strung woman makes for a high-strung man.
So this modeling stuff is definitely intended for young people's eyes. Those parts are so small, and at my age I have so much difficulty just seeing the numbers on the parts and seeing what I'm doing, that we're going to add this magnifying glass or magnifying light. I have this down at my shop, and I went down and grabbed it out of the shop to bring it up here, just so I can work on this model. Oh, this is going to be really good. The instructions say not to paint these until after assembly, but I'm not going to do that. I can't even imagine trying to paint all this with it. It's all put together. So I want to copy this paint scheme on the rims on the box, and I'm not going to get it exactly right. My Pontiac, my 75 Pontiac has very similar wheels. So I'm going to try to get somewhat of a blend between the two, and I'm going to paint the rims this gray color. It's not going to be exactly perfect. I've got a little bit of this chalkboard paint. I may paint the back of the wheel with this chalkboard color. I don't know for a fact yet. What I do want to do when I'm done and it's all painted, I want to try to make a little paper circle that I can drop down inside the rim. Then I have this chrome paint. So I'm going to see if I can't do it that way and just spray the chrome ring with spray paint as opposed to trying to do it with a paintbrush. I don't know, man. I don't know. So we're going to give that a try. And if that doesn't work, I just spray over it again and I paint it by hand. Let's paint these rims. So I need to mask off this rim, and I need to create a chrome ring that goes around the outside of the rim. And I have a couple choices. I could either try and spray paint it or use a very tiny brush and then try to follow around that rim with a brush. That's not going to be fun. So what I think I'm going to do is use a circle template, match it to the size of the rim, or just inside the size of the rim, draw that on this piece of manila envelope, cut that circle and just overlay it, and then spray it with a spray can, and then hopefully that masking isn't going to blow away and I'm going to end up with a nice ring. We don't know. We'll see. Then what I'm going to do is, using just some of that paint on a piece of paper, I'm going to try to go in and just color the medallion that's on the center of this rim. So you're not going to see this, but there is actually a little raised rim that is like the rim or the little hubcappy ring that goes around the outside of these wheels. And there's an indent, there's a edge, and I'm going to try and create or find a circle that matches the inside of that. Once I've chosen that size, and this is where the new magnifying glass is going to be really helpful. It's 17/32. So we'll bring this over onto the envelope. And I've got a really sharp pencil, and I'm going to trace that. I borrowed a pair of craft shears from my wife, very tiny. Tracing that paper, or tracing that pencil rather. So is it perfect? It is not. But is it silver? It is. So I'm going to put a little bit of this silver paint on this card. And use this paintbrush and try and paint the Chevy medallion that's in the middle. Or at least put a little bit of paint on it. At least maybe make it stand out a little bit. I'm gonna go back to using the magnifying glass. Does it look a little bit like a little child did it? Yeah, maybe, but it's done. I'm gonna put it all back together and let you see what it looks like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Consider following my Instagram channel. There will be a link somewhere around here. I've got a video coming up here soon. We're going to put a new fuel pump in the CJ2A. See if we can't get that thing up and running for spring. Spring's only 2.5 months away, guys, and they'll be back out on the road again. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.